Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to the Six Bugle Podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Ruiz, here with my good friend, Christie Hensler. Christie, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Kind of in a
Good.
brainstorming mode lately. I've
Oh,
got
yeah?
some things floating through my brain, and so I want to be able to take the time to sift through them because
Yeah.
I'm an idea person, but I know they're not always good ideas. So I just
Well,
kind of,
it's good to kind of be able, it's kind of like venting, right? You want to get them out there and see
yes, get
what's
it out and
to the
see.
wall.
Yes,
And,
yes.
but usually, in my experience with you being friends for quite some time, everything you have is gold. and uh and and a lot of times it's because of what you like to read, what you like to learn from, and those types of things. And I know you get excited and you say, I got to share this one, and you always have good stories to back them up as well. Which brings me to you and I were talking earlier off the air, and we talked about fake positivity versus genuine gratitude. Would you care to share some of that information? What you got? What you have?
Yeah. Like, what's that? I think there's such a thing as like toxic positivity, fake positivity, because I think we can just, sometimes some people are just generally more positive people, if you will. But then there's this over the top. I'm a positive person. I like to see myself, but I'm also a realist. And so I'm not that person that's like, oh my gosh, everything's amazing and stick my head in the sand. And I think sometimes we feel as human beings that we can't be real or we can't acknowledge certain things where they're at, or that it's all or nothing. If I say, I'm really grateful for this today, but this is really hard in my life right now. I'm really struggling. We feel like we can't be both. And so we feel like we have to do this fake positivity or toxic positivity, as some people would call it, and this even fake gratitude, like where it's just like everything's perfect and I'm grateful, even though like all of this over here in our life is falling apart and it's really hard. But the problem with that is like we're human, like it's every our life is always a beautiful mess. There's hard, there's good, there's bad, and there's seasons. That's normal. And I think we don't normalize that sometimes. We take it to this like, well, don't say anything bad or don't, and it's all this positive affirmation stuff. And there's a place for affirmations, but to be doing that and not acknowledging the truth. I mean, the first chapter of my life hacks book is identify the truth. You can't argue with reality. If you're sick, you're sick,
Right,
and
right.
now that doesn't mean you're like happy to be sick, or you're, but by you saying no, I'm not sick, no, I'm not sick, isn't going to get you unsick. The way to do it is go, I'm sick, or I'm not feeling well, or my body's talking to me. So then it's like, then you can only by acknowledging the truth can then you take action to better it,
Mhm.
and I think it's important wherever you're at in your life, or business, or in your departments, or wherever right now, it's important to know that those both of those things can coexist. You can
Yeah.
have a really crappy day and like but be grateful for your life,
Yeah.
and you can, and so I think just keep that in mind. And if you have somebody in your life that's like always, it's just like, that's usually, I have found that that's a cover up. I have found that the super positive, super sweet people, there's like those are wicked people. Like I say to Matt, that person's way too nice. Like there is
Yeah.
more, don't make them mad. There are claws under there, because they're covering it up so bad.
Right.
And so I think it's just important that we don't over like make things positive that aren't. Just acknowledge it for what it is.
Right.
It's not the situation that's positive or negative, it's how you react to it.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think I think
Yeah.
that's where then it's like, okay, am I going to grow through this? Am I going to embrace the pain? Am I going to do those things, or am I going to sit around and be in self-pity? That's where it goes off the rails.
Right. Right. It's funny you mentioned affirmations. Tony Robbins says you can look at your garden that's full of weeds. You can say, there is no weeds, there is no weeds, there is no weeds. But you look and there is weeds because you
Yes,
can't do anything about it. You can't just
correct.
offer affirmations over and over and over. You have to do something about it. The
Yes,
affirmations are a good mindset to put your mind in preparation, but you also have to have action behind those words.
yes,
And when you talk about being sick, you can't say I'm not sick when you're really sick. I like to say when I'm sick and I start to take my medication or get a good walk in, or I start to feel better, start to eat better, eat right. I tell myself, I that did make me feel better, and
yes,
really believe in that because your mind is very powerful. and it's a
Yes.
muscle that needs to be exercised.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in high school, I was on a soccer team, and we had 11 for a team of 11, 7 of our team members were foreign born. They come from different countries, so the
Okay.
soccer was in their blood, right?
Yes.
But what we had a coach from a professional team called the Detroit Express, and he would make us, at that time we called it hypnotized, but all he was doing
Okay.
was putting ourselves, getting us to put ourselves in the mindset that we were going to
Mm-hmm.
win the game. And for me, I played defense, and I would say, this guy's making a move here, he's turning left and turning right, and I'm gonna block his
Mm-hmm.
kick. And what we were doing was we were putting that in our mind, and the
Mm-hmm.
mind doesn't know the difference, right? So
Right.
when we got on the pitch, we were like, okay, I've been here before. I've been against that player before.
Right.
I scored before, and we were just dominating people. We were playing 11 to 1, 13 to 1 in soccer. That's like unheard of, right?
Yes.
But the mind is very powerful. So if you get into those positions, tell
Mm-hmm.
yourself that you are getting better, or this medication is helping me to get better. This
Mm-hmm.
exercise is helping me to lose weight. This food is helping me to have a better diet so I can live life longer. And also to tell yourself this is a toxic situation and I got to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I think it just starts with being honest with yourself,
Yep.
because like you really have to just understand where you're at and then what am I going to do about it? And then like you're saying, as you're visualizing it and being positive, but then be consistent,
Yeah.
eating right for one day, exercising for one day isn't going to change your health, but doing it for the next 5 years is going to make it, and so but if you can believe in what you're doing and keep consistent, even when you don't feel like it, then you get the payoff.
Yep. Yep. Sounds
But
good.
yes, so
All right. Another gem in
yep.
in the
Again,
can, as they
just
say. In the can. Well, I
oh
really
my.
appreciate your sharing your wisdom, and I know it's with all sincerity because you've been through a lot of adversity, and you know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and
Yes.
you like to help other people that have either gone through it or don't realize they've gone through it. I can't tell you how many times when after a conference people say, "Man, I didn't realize I needed this."
Hmm.
And it brings a ton of value, and and it brings them to come back again. That being said, we are
Yes.
having another conference this year. It's going to be in Perrysburg, Ohio on September 17th, 18th, and 19th. We're already getting registrations, Christy. People
That's
are,
awesome.
yeah, booking their rooms, getting their registrations in, looking forward to it. We're still finalizing our speaker list. We have a couple more slots to fill. But if you know of any sponsors that might be willing to help us grow this conference, feel free to give us a shout. Let us know who they are. We'd be happy to talk to them. We already have a group of sponsors that are coming back, so that's always fun.
Awesome.
It's always good to have them as partners. And also, we just finished a survey to determine whether or not we should have an association, and the results came back that it's something that they'd be very supportive of. So
I
look
feel
out for
like survey says. I feel like that needed. Sorry.
look for that information. If you'd like to get the data from that information, if you
From that.
participated and you'd like to see what the results are, I'd be happy to share those with you. And we're just looking forward to seeing you again. We always have fun at our conferences, and we have some very nice speakers coming back, and also we have some brand new speakers that are going to be really enlightening for you. And it should be a very fun event. Come back and see your friends. All right. Any last
Yes,
words,
we're
Christy?
looking forward to it.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us on the Six Beautiful podcast, and we'll see you all very soon. Take care.